evening. It is 6 o'clock on Saturday, November 19th, 2016. Welcome and thank you for joining us tonight for the English edition of Aura News, where we bring you today's top stories, translated into English every weeknight. Albania's capital of Tirana is hosting the first ever Diaspora Summit. Gathering around 1,000 participants from 40 countries worldwide, Albanian migrants have been invited to attend the three-day summit, which will emphasize the country's need to better utilize its huge diaspora concentrated in Europe and the United States. Yesterday, at the opening day of the summit, Prime Minister Edi Rama asked Albanians who are living and working abroad to help their country succeed. Today, Kosovo's Minister of Foreign Affairs gave a speech at the summit where he asked that Kosovo and Albania have joint cultural institutions and consulates. We consider this summit to be a reflection of who we are. Meanwhile, the Minister of Interior declared that a database for registering Albanians wherever they are is needed. According to the minister, the database will not only statistically serve the number of migrants abroad, but it will also help to provide more services to Albanian people. We need to do a colossal work to create the database, which is not only a matter of statistics, but also a matter of services the state offers to citizens, said the Minister of Interior, adding that registering Albanian people living abroad is more important. A Greek court ordered a 30-month suspended sentence to two Albanian civil servants who were arrested last Sunday for transporting Albanian books for Albanian children living in Greece. The Albanian Ministry of Foreign Affairs reacted to the case, declaring that international rights regulations were violated and the procedures followed reject the friendly climate of trust between the two countries. The ministry's statement notes that the Minister of Foreign Affairs has asked his Greek counterpart to treat the case based on international rights acts and implement the diplomatic practices in power. The Albanian ministry says the issue will be followed in a diplomatic way and asks for a rapid response from Greece. A former nuclear bunker has been reopened as a museum in Albania's capital to show visitors how communist-era police persecuted the regime's opponents. The 1,000 square meter bunker, with reinforced concrete walls up to 2.4 meters thick, was built between 1981 and 1986 to shelter elite police and the Interior Ministry staff in the event of a nuclear attack. The museum now holds photographs and equipment that illustrate the political persecution of some 100,000 Albanians between 1945 and 1991. The museum was inaugurated by Prime Minister Edi Rama, the Minister of Interior, and the Minister of Economy. The Prime Minister considered the museum to be a force to face the past plagues and dedicated it to the victims of the communism regime. Prime Minister Edi Rama says the museum reflects his cabinet's desire to pay back a debt to the memory of the former politically persecuted, forgotten in the last 25 years. We should find the strength to face the past in order to move towards the future. This is a testimony of our country's history. The museum to be visited in honor of communism victims, declared the Prime Minister. The tourism issue was among the subjects discussed at the Diaspora Summit, with emphasis placed on investment opportunities for turning the country into a tourist destination. The Minister of Economy declared that the country is currently certifying for hotel service standards. The director of the National Coastal Agency thinks that the property issues are another problem in Albania that does not allow foreign investments to be attracted. Meanwhile, the director of the Albanian Cultural Center declared that the country has enough resources for marine and cultural development and compared Albania to Montenegro and Croatia. Democratic Party Chairman Lulzam Basha noted through a Facebook status he was absent from the Diaspora Summit discussions because he had not been invited by the organizers. Mr. Basha added that he was invited only to the gala evening, for which he said he cannot attend because of his busy agenda. I would have liked to share my thoughts with you in a roundtable brainstorming discussion, but the only option that the organizers of the summit gave me is to attend the gala evening the government has planned for your honor. Since I cannot attend this gala evening, I want to publicly share some of my thoughts with you, said the DP chairman. He went on to write that Albanians want to leave their country because of the absence of hope for a better future. And according to him, this is turning into a serious threat for Albania's future. Abandonment of Albania is the main threat to the country's future and to our nation. A few days before you came to Tirana, over 100,000 people have applied for the umpteenth time to migrate to the U.S., while tens of thousands young people try each year to immigrate to Europe and Canada and elsewhere in the world. In the next 5 to 10 years, the number of Albanians born in Albania but living in other countries will be greater than that of those living in Albania, added Mr. Basha, who invited the Albanian diaspora to contribute to the development of the country. Without any doubt, your contribution to our homeland is valuable and important. Diaspora investments in every area of the economy are welcomed. Albania resources and opportunities are great. The Democratic Party has prepared a new project to stimulate private investment through tax cuts and the liberation of enterprise monopolies and a host of barriers that constrain its freedom. I will be very attentive to your proposals to include them in our development program and implement them, said the Democratic Party's chairman, concluding his posting with a promise that he will be determined and committed to cooperate for a better Albania. Today, the Assembly Speaker, Ilir Meta, received Christina Markwalder, the President of Switzerland's National Council, who is on an official 2-day visit to Tirana. After the meeting, they gave a joint press conference highlighting their cooperation. Mr. Meta invited Swiss businesses to invest in Albania and added that the judicial reform will improve the business climate. We hope that the business climate will be improved because of the progress Albania is making, and especially because of the successful implementation of the judicial reform. We hope to have more Swiss investments in Albania in the future. Our cooperation with Switzerland will continue. Let's increase trade exchanges on the highest level, declared the Assembly Speaker. Meanwhile, the president of the National Council of Switzerland's Confederation, Mrs. Markwalder, said that Albania has made progress since her last visit back in 2005. I am happy for Albania's progress. It's in Switzerland's interest to see Albania and the region develop. We welcome Albania's constructive role in the region. We hope we continue with this friendly relation. Our parliament has adopted projects for Albania, and for this reason, we are interested in our parliament strengthening their cooperation, Markwalder said. The Assembly Speaker and Mrs. Markwalder shared their conviction that despite the economic and social challenges that the European Union is facing, relations between Albania and Switzerland is being strengthened in fields of common interest. Pope Francis has named 17 new cardinals of the Roman Catholic Church from around the world. The new cardinals come from 5 continents, including the Albanian Cardinal, Father Ernest Troshani. Multiple pilgrims from all across the world, including many Albanians, attended a mass held in the Vatican. Father Troshani, the 88-year-old cardinal from Albania, kneeled before the Holy Father to give allegiance to the ceremony. Dressed in red, the symbol of willingness to act boldly and even shed blood for the Catholic Church, the new cardinals received a hat and a gold ring. Also, during the ceremony, Pope Francis appointed the new Albanian cardinal as the head of the Santa Maria della Scala Church of the Roman Diocese. After the ceremony, the Albanian flag waved in the Vatican. Ernest Troshani was proclaimed cardinal for historical resistance to the communist era and is the second Albanian cardinal after Michel Kalochi. The president of the Bishops' Conference, Signor Angelo Masafra, greeted the appointment of Cardinal Troshani. On behalf of the Albanian Catholic Church, Monsignor Masafra thanked the Pope and said that the cardinal's honor goes to all those unjustly persecuted. Cardinal Troshani came to public attention with his testimony about the ordeal and his heroic resistance under the communist regime. He epitomizes not only the martyrs, but an entire people persecuted for their faith in God and emerged triumphant. Father Troshani was persecuted, displaced, and thrown in jail for years under the communist dictatorship. That's all for our English edition this evening. Please join us again Monday through Saturday at 6 p.m. for your local news in English. My name is Mari, and on behalf of Aura News, thank you and good night.